And they like give him the old Alabama squeeze box, which I don't know what that is, but I just like the sound of it.
Sounds kinky.
I want someone to do that to me. What the hell?
Hello and welcome.
Joel. Sorry, you said to make it more
I did say that. Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the No Thumbs Up podcast, where down is up and thumbs are down. On today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at Rango 2011. But first, let me introduce some beautiful people. Along with me today are my co-hosts.
None of us.
Darn tootin'
None of us
Dayne
are beautiful.
himself.
Hey,
Watch yourself.
Jammin' Josh, or Josh the Joint Man Jenkins, and Spaghetti Western Joe.
Today.
Spaghetti Strap Joe.
My name is Joel, and I'll be your plotsman today, so please sit down, get comfortable, and enjoy the ride. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to leave an actual thumbs up on this video and hit that subscribe button if you want more podcasts like this one. And don't forget to hit that MF bell button to get notified when we come out with new videos. How you guys doing today?
I don't remember this being a PG show. Hit that motherfucking like button.
That mother flipping like button.
Yeah, I know, and now I choose. I mean, they wrote MF in. I'm guessing that was a Josh.
Oh, scheiße, I unplugged my headset.
Listen, I don't write the script, I just read it.
Yeah.
That should actually be a rule. Like, I don't get to write the script, and then I just have to read verbatim
that would be
what's on
pretty
it.
good, actually. I also know that would get taken a little too far.
It'd probably be fun. You know where the
Yeah,
limits
it'd be
are.
funny.
So a little bit about the movie to preface. It was released in 2011, like I said, directed by Gore Verbinski. I'm assuming you went and updated all this. A box office of 245.7 million. We don't have a budget here. If one of you guys wants to look that up real quick.
135 million USD.
Oh.
That's a lot of money, actually.
Yeah, pretty much doubled the money.
Yeah.
Yes, animated movies always have like big ass budgets. Just big teams go into them.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. And this movie in particular, it just like, to me, it just really beautiful animation, but also just like the characters in it. Like this video I was watching pointed out, like none of the characters are like symmetrical, which in a lot of
Yeah, they all
movies,
have just like different shit on about them. Like,
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, like the one dude with the arrow in the eye, and then like his neck is cranked and the eyes are different sizes, and yeah, it's cool.
Rest of the show, everyone have a crinked neck.
Yeah. Joe, this was your movie.
Fuck.
So what was
That one sounded good.
Dear God, yeah, no, this was well, wasn't this? No, this wasn't my movie, was it? I thought this was a random one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there was
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was. Okay,
Which I mean, well, let's go
Good
with
random
it.
choice.
Yeah, this was my movie, guys. I sure love Rango 2011.
I
especially for
remember
the DS.
specifically some reason when I think of Rango, I think of you. Like that I watched it
Thanks.
at like your birthday party or
Yeah.
something like that, or we went to go see
Yeah,
it.
your
But I
beautiful
also
eyes just remind me of Rango.
remember falling asleep in it because like I know I've sat down to watch this movie before, but I have not.
We tried to
like,
watch it
finished
at your place when I came over in Lethbridge.
Oh
Remember?
yeah,
And
that,
then-
no, but I watched it like I tried a long
okay.
time ago too. But
I fell asleep during that part.
yeah.
yeah,
That was also 2 a.m. So yeah.
I fell asleep watching it this time too.
Joel's company really just puts me to sleep too.
yeah.
Snooze fest, am I right?
So, any of you guys, or Dane, Josh, is this your first time? Or
No, I'm
Yeah, it
pretty
actually
you're a
was,
Rango
yeah.
virgin?
sure. Really? You've never seen this movie?
No, I didn't watch
Holy.
it when it came out, but I'm glad I did now.
Yeah.
Like I specifically remember just seeing this in theaters when it first came out.
Damn,
No,
you
I
went to
didn't.
theaters. No,
I did.
You guys remember when we had theaters?
That's all I had.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I miss
So, I think without any further ado,
you know,
further
you,
ado,
you asked us how we were doing today, and you never got to We never got to answer that.
How are you doing, Joe?
Well, I was doing all right, Just kind of feeling a little tired and a little sad that I haven't got my pump in yet, but
You're looking
doing all right.
pumped.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was doing good till I joined this call, and now I'm awful.
Hey,
Dayne, you got anything to say about that?
I'm just always miserable.
Dope.
It'd be like,
Now that I know
Everyone's
how
doing
you're all
great.
doing, I think it's
yeah. Now that we can actually continue,
it's plot time.
Plot time.
What about wheel time?
Oh, wheel time. Wheel time matters.
Wheel time.
time to spin the wheel of movies.
This is
Movicality.
our wheel for this week. So we'll be spinning this at the end of the episode to find out what we're watching for next week. The first movie we got here is A Whisker Away. Joe?
Well, this is a newer Studio Ghibli movie. It's about, I guess it's about a guy and his cat, and he really loves his cat, and this girl wants to become that cat, but the lines between the human world and the cat world get blurred, and it eventually creates conflict in the movie, so I'll leave it at that.
I too want to fuck a cat.
The Devil All the Time is my movie. It's recently added to Netflix. The stars... I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. New Spider-Man. Tom Holland.
Miles Morales.
And it's about like this guy kind of living in this small town in like a post-war world. Garfield is one of our bonus movies this week.
Wait, do we choose The Tale of Two Kitties or not?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit.
That's I don't know, a movie I saw a clip on for Facebook, and it's about a kid in Nazi Germany whose imaginary best friend is Hitler, and that's all I know about it.
All right, Garfield 2: A Tale of Two Kitties. The movie that needs
Masterpiece.
no explanation. Vivarium.
Yeah, a movie where a couple goes to find a house and can't leave the neighborhood.
The
Okay.
Hood.
So they stuck.
I'll just leave that right here for your tantalizing eyes, right next to my sick wolf.
I'm tantalized.
Sick blanket of a wool.
And so, sit back and let me tell you a tale of a person who has yet to enter their own story. You gotta play close.
I didn't have a chance to.
Did you guys?
Okay,
Did that come through for you guys?
Not at all.
There's like,
No.
It's probably. I'll be honest, it's probably better that it didn't. Because I didn't even have a chance to get a chord.
I have my piano here.
okay, so we start off with the mariachi birds, and they're kind of prefacing the story of our lizard, who is actually nameless, I'm pretty sure, right? He doesn't have a real name, because he made up the name Rango. And I think that's why they've said he's yet to enter his own story, because Rango didn't exist
That's
yet.
true. Yeah, does he have a name?
No,
Sounds
I'm
Rango?
pretty sure.
Huh.
Unless it says it somewhere in like...
Yeah,
his
I guess I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a name because not even in his little fish tank does he have anything. Or fish tank, lizard paradise.
Tank.
Oh, it also says at the beginning this is a Nickelodeon movie, which I just thought was interesting because it's so good and like
Yeah.
high budget.
Because it's so good.
I guess like the SpongeBob movies are Nickelodeon movies too, but I don't know.
And no slap.
I just feel like it's less common. And they're talking about how Rango will ultimately die at the end of the story or something. We see Rango goes in on his face, and he's talking about like being the hero in all these different scenarios, as being like on the sea, which is a reference to Johnny Depp playing Captain Jack Sparrow,
Jack.
and like or in this way I'll be the hero, and it zooms out and he's like recreating kind of like a play in there with like his like tree and this little doll and like the little fish. I forget what the fish's name, but he's just like, Victor, you were wooden to the tree, and all these little funny quips.
Fish is the best character, hands down.
Yeah, I feel like I wrote it
Has the
down.
best lines.
Does
Maybe not here.
has one line of dialogue in the movie, surprisingly enough for an inanimate object.
Yeah, it's more than most.
Yeah.
So
He has a chance to shine.
he has this epiphany where he's like, oh, we need unexpected conflict, an event that will propel me into this story. And randomly the truck that he's on like hits a bump, and he just like flies through the air and skids on this piece of glass.
A lot of convenience.
Very convenient.
An actual lizard would have like been like punctured by like all the shards of glass, and then it would have got ran over like a few times.
Yeah.
And then it would have been the end of Rango's story.
Oh, Mr. Timms is the name of the fish.
Oh, okay, cool.
Imagine if that it just took a turn in left field, like he just dies on the road, and then the story just continues on with something else.
It just does all the same shots, but without Rango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in the minds of another character or something.
Yeah. We land, or yeah, I like the scene where his like glasses there and the umbrella like almost lands in it and just like falls off. We see Mr. Timms like dries out and all the water around like evaporates, and like Rango like dries up, sheds his skin, dries up again, sheds his skin. Just showing like how like deathly hot it is out here. This armadillo calls over to him in the road, who it should by all accounts be dead. Just has like a chunk missing out of the middle of him from where he got hit. He's like, come help me, amigo. Gets him to pull his finger, and I don't know why he wants him to pull his finger to get him back up. I don't think he can do it though.
Oh, the old pull my finger.
And the armadillo's telling him that he's waiting for me, the spirit of the West. And he's like, who's the spirit of the West? And he tells this man who rides in an alabaster carriage with golden guardians. And he's like, I must reach the other side of the road to reach enlightenment. And he's like, well, why don't you just wait for the road to be empty? He's like, well, it's not as easy as it looks, and this is a metaphor. He just straight up says it, that the road is a metaphor. The car...
But it's also...
What?
It's also real, because the road's right there. And they...
Yeah, but I mean, like, half the time there's no one there. Like, all the time they've been talking, there's been nobody that's driven by.
He's also been flattened on the road in that time, so
it's fair.
It's tough.
Rango just gets swept away by this vehicle that's passing. He's kind of ping-ponging from all these different vehicles, one of which is the characters from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like the guy with like his cigarette and the glasses on. He's like,
Thompson.
Yeah. He just kind of keeps getting tossed around until he lands by the armadillo again. And when he tells him, I need water, and he says, first to find water, you must find dirt. And he sends him off in a certain direction of just like empty desert. And he's like, you sure? Like this way? And he's like, yeah, no, go that way. So he starts walking through there. We see the singing birds again, and they're just basically singing about, Rango's gonna die in the desert, and Rango just like looks back, breaks the fourth wall. He passes by this talking little rock-looking toad, and he's like, stop, you gotta blend in. He turns out to be hiding from like this hawk, I think. And Rango's kind of panicking, and basically he catches the bird's attention and has to start running away from him. He hides inside this bottle, which gets like lifted up into the air, which I was like, that's a smart bird, he's gonna break the bottle. And then he lands on the guy who's pretending to be a rock, and the bird tries to go for him instead. I don't know, does it get him?
It gets the frog.
Yeah, he gets the frog.
Yeah, he gets only at like the very end and just takes him away.
Yeah, he did.
Gets what he deserved for talking all that shit.
Yeah.
To be fair, Rango fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, Rango dodging broken glass. When he was running away, the bottle just broke on him. He crawls into this little water spout and falls asleep for the night, and he starts dreaming of these like cactuses that start rattling like rattlesnakes and
I'm sorry, what was that, Joel? What did you just say? Cactuses?
cacti. All these cacti that start rattling like rattlesnakes.
Thank you.
And we see Mr. Timms go by, and he's like, "Where are all your friends now, amigo?" That's his one line.
Yep.
Rango wakes up to a splash from all this water coming out of the tube that he's in, and it hits him onto the ground before he can even get any in his mouth. It all dries up. He ends up at the point of a shotgun when he's kind of crawling on the ground, and we go up, and it's this lady who turns out to be called Beans.
Beans.
Those beans.
She
Thinking about those beans.
Thinking about
Thinking
Beans.
about those beans.
She recognizes immediately that he's not from around there. She's like, "Yeah, my name's Beans because my daddy loved beans." I'm pretty sure her dad was a bean farmer.
Yep. Her father also liked liquor.
Mm-hmm. Fell down a mine shaft. Now he's pissing drunk.
Yeah, he has a funny line here where he's like, "Oh, you're lucky that your dad didn't like asparagus." He's like, what are you trying to say? And he's like, "Well, I like asparagus and all, but I wouldn't name a child that." And then so she gets kind of like set off by this, and she's like, "Oh, are you implying that he just..." Or somewhere she gets set off, and she's like, "Oh, are you implying that he just left?" Oh yeah, she's carrying around like a pot of his ashes, and she's like, "Oh, that's his ashes?" And she's like, "Well, no, like he just used to like to smoke, but they never found his body." So it's just like literally just carrying cigarette ashes around. And then so then it's implied that he just left, and she gets all excited, or I don't know, starts freaking out, and she freezes. And so I guess she's a possum, right? So she's like playing dead or something. Is that
what she is?
Oh, is that really?
I think
no.
so. I
thought she was another lizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was
just
another lizard.
Oh, okay. Why does she do that?
But like the opossum thing makes sense.
It does, but she doesn't look like.
Well, I know. I think the little one's a possum, right? The one that's like,
the little girl.
You die.
Yeah.
She's an iguana. Are they known for freezing?
In the musty town of dirt.
I don't think so.
It's Rango wouldn't fall in love with a possum. That's stupid.
That's fair. Yeah.
Cross species.
I mean, like Rango is a chameleon.
Cross species couple.
Yeah, you don't do that. Rango is a chameleon, but he only changes color, I'm pretty sure, once in this. And there are chameleons that don't change color, but as Alyssa pointed out to me, he changes color when he's in the licorice container in the
in the
vending
machine.
Yeah, that's the only time he changes color. So they established that he can.
At the like when he's hiding from the hawk in like the scene that we were just talking about. He tries to, but he just switches from a different much as a color, and then
maybe ironically, even though he's an actor who's supposed to be a chameleon into different scenarios, he blends in that way rather than changing his color.
Yeah, true.
So where are we here? So she eventually takes him to the town of Dirt, and then kind of leaves him, and she's kind of saying that he needs to blend in. We see the first thing, like when we get there, there's this guy packing up and saying like, "Oh, well, I didn't want to sell, but I don't have any money. There's no water left, so I'm leaving." He's packing up and leaving town.
That's why I moseyed into town.
We're kind of being introduced to like the cast of characters here. We see I think the little girl comes up to him at one point, and there's like just some of the townsfolk passing around. You're kind of getting the vibe. It's really old westerny. This rock gets thrown at Rango's head, and it's the little possum girl we were talking about. And she's like, you're funny looking. Strangers don't last long around here. Beans is talking to the guy from the bank, she's trying to buy something, and the guy is saying, I can't give you any more credit. The bank won't give out people credit anymore. So she ends up having to go to the bank. While she's doing that, Rango stumbles into the saloon, and everybody immediately freezes as he walks in. He slowly makes his way up to the front. He's like, I'd like a glass of water. And everyone bursts out laughing. Like, you fucking dumbass.
This idiot.
We have water around these parts.
They tell him we've got cactus juice instead.
It's a form of liquor, apparently.
Yeah.
Cactus juice.
That's like, yeah, so I'm sure you guys watched that video. There's like the one-eared rabbit who's also an alcoholic of cactus juice.
He's the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor.
It's like the story behind the doctor is just so like weird. Or the story that the guy makes up in the video.
He's like, he could have been in the war because he's a doctor.
Yeah, like a Cold War doctor. It's like, yeah.
He could.
He's a bunny rabbit, but okay.
We probably got pissed real fucking
wait a
bad
minute.
with
A
shit.
bunny rabbit couldn't be a doctor.
This is stupid.
This whole movie's
Be right
fake. Yeah.
For ground.
So the cactus juice
Rango.
gets passed over to him.
Cactus Jack.
Wait, sorry, where were you?
Cactus Jack sent me.
In the saloon. The cactus just sticks right into his hand, and he takes a sip and just like freezes. And they kind of start asking him questions, and he's like, I can be anybody I want because nobody knows me here. And he looks down at his thing and says Durango, and he covers up the D, and he's like, my name's Rango. And he starts his whole persona of just being the
Rango.
the rootness, tootness, shooty bang bang, cowboy, yeehaw. And he kind of starts like spinning this tale about himself. He's like, I'm from far west, where we kill a man before breakfast just to work up an appetite. It's like, the line I like, it's like, this is right before he tells who he is, just like, you might say, I'm from everywhere there's trouble brewing and hell waiting to be raised. Or you might say, I'm what hell already raised up. Name's Rango. It's just really good. Yeah. He's like, and one of the guys just randomly is like, I know who he is. He killed the Jenkins brothers.
Did it
he's like,
one bullet.
yeah. And then there's like, wait, all 7 of them?
All 7 of them?
Yeah. And then just kind of, and it cuts to Beans, and she's talking.
That was my septuple collateral and free for all.
Bro, the points he got for that one.
Yeah.
Shut up the new COD.
Yep.
Keep dropping score streaks, chopper gunner coming in.
Beans is at the bank, and they're talking about why she can't get credit, and it's because the bank is like running out of water, because that's kind of their credit in this place, which makes sense. I mean, they don't have any, so she has to go talk to the mayor. When we cut back,
The
to
water,
Rango,
bro. Just use the tap.
yeah, what a fucking idiot!
It's free water, man. Just go get it.
He's like, no, I only drink Fiji. They like go to the bank. It's all just stacks of Fiji water.
About to break the heart of everyone in dirt.
Yeah, if only they'd purchased an Oasis water bottle.
Yeah.
Then they would have unlimited supply of their favorite beverage.
Sorry, I'm just parched is all.
I wish I had mine with me. I left it in my car.
Refreshing. Different.
That's a whole new level of flavor.
when we got back to Rango, he's at the end of telling his story, and he's like, yeah, and then the bullet ricocheted and hit this guy in the head. And they're like, wait, but that's 6. What about 7? He's like, shoot, he died of infection. That was funny. Bill enters. There's just like this. He must be like a Komodo dragon.
I think that's what he is.
Yeah.
Like an alligator Komodo dragon of some sort.
Yeah. And his name is Bill, and he's got his posse with him. And one of the guys is like, Rango ain't afraid of you. And Rango's up at the bar, and when Bill approaches him, he asks the bartender for cactus juice. And when it comes up, Rango just instinctively just drinks it, and then refill it again. He drinks it again. He just burps fire onto his face, and
he takes his cigar first, doesn't he, and just swallows
he
it.
eats a cigar.
Eats the cigar.
He takes a shot. Fucking breathes fire.
Yeah,
alpha move right there, honestly.
And then his face is kind of on fire, so he tries to slap it out with his thing, and then he tries to put it out with the other cactus juice and just dumps it on his face and ignites it all. So it looks like he's being just really forward, awkward. But he's really just fucking up.
Yeah, awkward.
His heart was in the right place.
Bill's fuck this guy, slides him a gun, and they go to do a showdown. And Rango's like, I'll give you one chance to reconsider. And he's like, if you don't reconsider, I may reconsider myself. And the hawk comes back, and it lands right behind Rango, and Bill and his posse run off, and Rango's like, they're so scared of me. And when he turns around to see the bird, he freaks out and goes to hide in the outhouse, which is a bottle of Pepto-Bismol, which I thought was funny.
Oh yeah.
The bird just slashes it open, and you see him just sitting on the loo. And I guess this was supposedly, it's kind of loose, but I saw this video where it said this was a reference to Jurassic Park, when the thing breaks through the washroom there, and it just everything falls apart except for the dude sitting on the toilet there. Yeah, so the bird starts chasing him around, and he has this toilet paper strapped to the bottom of his foot, and he's running through all this maze, which I guess is a reference to this Nicolas Cage movie where it happens in a convenience store. He eventually, I think we cut back to, no, he goes and hides in the licorice, or in the vending machine in the licorice thing, and the bird tries to buy him out of it, but he gets stuck. And then
I hate just how personified these animals are.
Yeah.
This hawk's gonna know how to use a fucking vending machine. It's gonna
puts it in.
And it's they're all
it's gonna do.
They're all varying levels of animal. The hawk doesn't speak or say anything, but
you know what? I'm starting to think this movie isn't very realistic.
Yeah, this is fake. Okay, let's call the episode, actually.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm done.
Scrap this.
I think it just break through the glass and take him or something.
No.
Does it get him out of the box? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it tries to, it gets the item, he falls down, and it's it goes to reach inside of the little
But doesn't he, get stuck?
compartment.
He gets stuck, and then he eventually falls down.
Oh, it just falls down? Okay,
Yeah.
Doesn't it do, the old switcheroo where the hawk looks and he's not there anymore?
Yeah, and then he's using the licorice rope to climb down the vending machine, and then he has it attached to him after he's running away.
Yeah.
And he tied those knots fucking quick.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially licorice.
Yeah.
Boy
Shit
Scout
ain't easy.
Rango.
Yeah, true.
He runs away to this big tower, which they have this really shittily built tower that's just
funny.
holding sand.
Yeah, it's a water tower, but there's no water.
Yeah, it's filled with sand. I don't know how it got up there, but I guess sandstorms. But yeah.
You're really questioning this out of the whole thing.
I don't know. I was rewatching it before we did this, and I was just like, "Damn, this thing is just so badly built, and it would just be so heavy." But yeah, he's holding on to it while the bird is pulling on his licorice rope, and he takes out his gun, goes to shoot him and then realizes I'm just going to shoot the rope instead. But the bullet ricochets off a bunch of things and it's one of the wires holding up this thing and it just falls forward onto the bird and he kills the bird and everyone's like, one bullet.
Killed him in one hit.
Bing, 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 bing. Leads us into our next entry of the Kill Hall of Fame. Go out. Shout out to the Hawk who got killed in one bullet.
In one.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Cool kill.
Cool kill.
I like the whole,
like that.
I like the whole chase sequence of that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
At least something. They did something pretty cool with that anyway. They brought a lot of life to it.
Yeah. Like, I thoroughly just, even at this point, I was just enjoying the movie so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
It's really kind of refreshing how it's like, I don't know, it doesn't like shy away from being like more adultish without like passing that line. Like, you know, it's like the bird just dies. Like,
Yeah.
the frog at the beginning gets taken away by the bird and we're assumed that he's eaten. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't take it super light just because it's
The old West.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're saying, oh yeah, he's got to meet the mayor. We see the birds, mariachi birds, singing again, and they're, one of them's like, oh, well, when's he gonna die? And they're like, soon enough. In the mayor's office, Beans is heading out of there, and she's saying to the mayor that she doesn't want to sell her land. So I guess he's trying to get all of the land in the town for some reason.
For development.
Spoiler.
We don't know that. No future spoilers. The turtle is telling Rango everything's controlled by water around here because it's what everybody needs. He offers
H2O.
Rango a sip of his very just delicious looking decantered water.
Must have been Fiji.
Yeah.
That water looks so fucking good.
I don't even think he like takes a sip before he like, or no, he like just finishes it really quick and then goes to grab more and breaks it. And he meets the turtle out on his ledge and they're looking down at all the people. He's saying, oh, it's really hard around here, but people make it by believing. And right now they believe in you, and they have to believe in something. When we go back to Beans, she's saying why is the mayor the only one not affected by the lack of water? She goes to see Rango because he is now just, the turtle made him the new sheriff and he's got his new duds.
Getting all tailored up.
This kid comes up to him. I forget what he says here, but he just like pulls out his weapon and like threatens to kill him. And he's like, I just want my own John Hancock, and just gives him the gun. He's like, there's a bullet in here.
He's pointing it at himself. The mom's like. Then Beans gets all upset.
Yeah, and she freezes again. And they like put a bowl of fruit on her head.
That stupid, sexy ass squirrel.
She's a fox, isn't she?
Is she a fox? I thought she was a squirrel.
I thought she was a fox. Yeah.
She is a fox.
I thought she was going to be some sort of returning character, but you don't really see her much after this.
No, she's just there to piss you off.
When Beans unfreezes, she says, did anyone tell you what happened to the last sheriff? And then it like goes over to like the like spider like building the sheriff.
Yeah. Building the coffin.
The clock starts or it hits whatever in this
high noon.
Yeah, high noon. And the this bell starts ringing that tells everybody that it's water time, so everybody just starts like zombie walking and like grabbing their
water time.
Bucket water time.
It's water time.
Reminds me of like Resident Evil 4, when the bell starts ringing, all the townspeople start like marching out.
Yeah, what a weird activity.
Yeah, they have like some sort of like kind of cultish thing around it you get because they like have to do some sort of like dance first, and then they like all turn towards each other and like slap each other, and Rango just clocks out this old woman.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Um,
And the number 2 kill of the week goes to
yeah. That bitch dead. So they're walking up there with their things. He's like, "This happened all the time." And she's like clockwork. And then the first time we see, I don't remember his name. He's supposed to be like kind of like the Indian.
Oh, the crow.
Yeah, the crow. And he's just like, bird dead, snake comes. And so they start telling about Rattlesnake Jake. And he's like, I don't have any problems with Rattlesnake Jake. And they're like, neither did Amos. And it, like, it shows it's like this tombstone. It's like Sheriff Amos. Say it's like Thursday to Saturday. Only lived there for like 4 days or whatever.
About a week ago.
The mayor raises the holy spigots, and there's like all these people up there. Like there's this very big event to turn on the tap once a week. And when they turn it on, Rango steps forward and says, "The time of hydration has come," and just mud comes out of the faucet. The turtle is just like, "Oh, well, times are going to be hard from now on," even though like times are clearly quite hard here.
Yeah.
Already. Bean starts yelling that this stinks, like the banks are empty.
And then everyone freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, Rango shoots his gun to get their attention. And they go to the bank. And he's like, I see what the problem is. You guys have a water problem. And he's like, see, like, if somebody drinks a glass of water, then you have one less glass of water. And if this guy wants a glass of water, and like just like sneaking all these drinks.
Expert monologuer for sure.
Yeah.
It really is.
And he's like, you guys don't even have to worry. Like, why would you worry about running out of water? You have 6 days of water left. Like, that's not a now problem. And he like hits it. It goes down to 5 days. He's like, well, you guys aren't going to lose out on what you have left of water because I'm here. And it skips to...
Even though they just did lose out on a day's worth of water because of them.
Yeah. He says he's going to protect the water, and we skip to nighttime. He's like, kind of just like, yeah, I'm the shit, and walking around. This turkey like gets thrown out of the bar, and he's like, you got this. Just shape up and go right back in there, and just pushes it back in. And he sees these guys like tunneling underground. And they come up in the middle of the street, and he's like, oh, well, like, what are you guys doing? And it's very clear that they're trying to like break into the bank and steal the water. He's like, well, if you're going to be prospecting, you're going to need prospecting tools, and you're going to need a permit, and da-da-da. And just basically just like, it's like, yeah, keep going. And then he leaves. In the morning, we hear, we're all going to die. And we see that the bank is empty. Somebody broke in and stole all the water. And they're like, what are we going to do? And then somebody says something about, like, forming a possum. He's like, you mean a posse? Animal joke.
Yeah.
He's like, can anyone here use a firearm? And, like, literally everybody pulls out a gun. And they're like, what do we do? He's like, now we ride. And they start, like, riding away from the town. And then zooms in on them. They're just like, where are we going?
It's like, I don't know.
Fuck. Yeah. And they just cuts them walking into the town.
Fucking defeated.
And he goes, oh yeah, the crow is like the deputy, isn't he?
Yeah, he makes him the deputy.
Yeah. And then he's like, wait, where did these guys go? And he just points to the hole in the middle of the street. So they get all these people together to go down the hole. He's like handing out like tools kind of as they're jumping down. And this one guy comes up and he's like, hey, us lizards got to stick together. He's like, I'm an amphibian. He's like, there ain't no shame in that. And then the one guy, he's like, "You sure you're good for this?" It's the dude with like the arrow in his eye. He's like, "You just got something in your eye," and he's like, "Oh, did I get it to the other eye?" And he's like, "Oh, you're good." I go down. In the hole, there's like kind of a complicated network of holes down there. It seems like they were digging around for a while. They start following this water pipe, and they're kind of led to this chasm. And Rango's in front, and he's like, "Don't look down." Whoa! And then they reach the end of the line, and everyone starts fighting because they don't know where to go. And Rango's like, "I got an idea. Everybody put out your torches." And when they do, they see light coming from the ceiling. And they somehow climb up there and get out.
Rango really just is the plot convenience. Everything around this character.
Yeah, and
Just
like,
works.
what gave him that idea to turn off, like,
Because
everybody?
the story needed to progress.
Yeah, like that seemed like that was just knowledge coming from nowhere, unless it was like some sort of reference to like something. I don't know.
Probably a few hidden ones that we just haven't caught to because we're not.
Yeah.
There's obviously just a lot of
That's
like
smart.
kind of spaghetti western tropes and all that. But
Don't talk about spaghetti that way.
yeah. They get up there and the cacti are dying of
Good,
thirst, and they're saying, "Oh, this doesn't bode well. Cacti dying of thirst." They find the bank teller guy, and he is dead.
He drowned.
Once again, they're not being very like, kid. They're just like, "Hey, this bird's dead," and they say he drowned, and they're like, "Well, should we bury him?" And the deputy says, "No, birds got to eat too." The crow is off, kind of like looking, and he finds out where the moles have gone. He knows that they went that way, so he's like, "Now we ride." They start riding again.
Where did they get those birds from?
I don't know.
Yeah, recognize that because they just hopped on these things that they didn't bring with them.
Yeah. The mariachi band of birds is there again. I don't know if they say anything useful at this point. I didn't write anything down. But they cut to nighttime and they're all, "Oh my god. Sorry." They're all roasting marshmallows around the fire.
Yeah, I bet they're pretty tired at that time of night.
Yeah.
Good job, Joel. That was
just for the podcast.
that was smart. That was smart. Yeah.
Good move by me. They're talking about like different things. They coughed up, and one of the guys is like, "Yeah, I once." What does he say? He's like, "Coughed up a whole possum once. Never looked at me the same." They eventually turn to Rango, and they ask about the spirit of the West, and he gets up and like draws all these pictures with like the flame and the smoke at night. And there's a bunch of references here. There's like a robot, and then there's like a TIE fighter. There's actually 2 TIE fighters. And then there's like that picture of like the guy with like the big nose that they always draw like peeking over the fence. It's like, I think a resistance thing. I don't know. Anyways, he's talking about
research. We've done
Couldn't
much.
tell you.
Yeah. He's telling him about the spirit of the West and basically says the same thing. Alabaster carriage, protected by golden guardians. They ask him about Rattlesnake Jake, and he's like, "Oh, you mean my brother?" He said, "Good thing about Rattlesnake Jake is I'm not allergic to his venom. I used to put it in my coffee just to get a little tang in it." Yeah, so he's just talking himself up even more. One of the guys says, "I want to pray to the spirit of the West. Let's all hold hands and pray to this new thing that we just learned about." And they're like, "Thanks for Rango. He's my favorite." It's a very touching moment.
Everybody loves Rango coming to a TV station near you.
Yeah, they say how we don't have anything to believe in right now, and Rango's that thing again. Rango wakes up in the middle of the night and sees that Beans is kind of off looking, and they see these cacti called walking daggers, and I guess the story is that they walk to find water, and she used to always watch them.
But they never move.
They never move. She says that he makes friends so easy. That she lived on a farm and it was like living in a box. She kind of gets going and just freezes all of a sudden, and Rango looks at her and like kind of tests for a second and like I think kisses her on the cheek or something, right?
Yeah.
And
Kind of weird. I feel like their relationship hasn't
yeah,
developed any at this
and
point.
it's not like he like she didn't consent.
There's some tension there.
There's no
Yeah.
consent.
Yeah. Ooh, is this a Johnny
Rango
Depp problem? Yeah, Rango canceled.
Didn't she like smile right after it though? So she was.
Yeah.
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 Well, of course she's fine with it, but 2020.
No, she's just freaky.
Mad
She
freaky.
into that paralysis type of kink.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
People they find the people who were stealing the water, and they're kind of like Rango and them are up on the cliff, and the people who stole the water are down in this kind of ravine. He tells like the one guy, he's like, you have the most important job. Like if you see anything wrong, you give the signal. When he talks to Bean, she's like, what can I do? He's like, what size dress do you wear? We cut down to there, and
Great question to ever ask a woman, by the way.
yeah, they kind of roll up with like this stage and start like doing a play, and they say like they're thespians, and he's like, isn't that illegal in 7 states?
Yeah.
Um,
Not lesbians, you idiot.
Joe. While they're doing their performance, one of them kind of forgets, and he's like, line.
Then one of the Mole brothers, just like gives him the line. Like he knows what he's watching.
Oh yeah,
Find that weird.
he says like, put your hands up, and then they all pull out their guns. And he's like, your entire family, put your hands up. And he's like, my entire family, and all these moles come digging out. And you see the dude giving this signal, and he's just like, caw, caw, and he's like giving like smoke signals, and then he like throws up, doing all these like flag dances, like shoots a gun shot into the air. And then when he does shoot the gun, all the animals get scattered, and they start running away with the bottle, which is covered in this blanket. While they're running away, like the moles chase them on bats for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's like very like classic music playing here, isn't it? Like
The Flight of the Valkyrie or something, but it's like a Western rendition of it.
Yeah, and
That's what I believe, at least. But yeah.
Yeah, and they're like supposed to kind of be like biplanes. They have like Gatling guns on them.
They're just blowing up as they get shot down.
Yeah, and they like give them the old Alabama squeeze box, which I don't know what that is, but I just like the sound of it.
Sounds kinky.
I want someone to do that to me. What the hell?
Two of those, huh? One of them, like, okay, this scene is awesome. Like, I couldn't like really write down like all the things that happen, but like it's so cool. It's like such a cool chase scene. They like lasso Rango, but they like get caught on this like thing. He gets flung into the air, and he ends up on top of one of the bat things. He just has like a comical level of just plot armor.
Yeah.
He like somehow ends up with like dynamite.
Yeah, I think he had dynamite in his hand when he flew onto the bat, and then he just like threw it back and
Somehow
took out some guys.
Yeah, and then they did like the classic thing with like the carriage running like under like the bridge, where it's like, the train going through the hole, and people have to duck, and then the people hit their heads, which is just very classic for like
Another
Tony
Western
thing.
trope.
Yeah. Rango somehow gets back on board with Beans, who I think is in her own dress now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she is.
They eventually reach this point and they crash and the bottle falls off the wagon. Which, like, what if that did have water in it? Wouldn't it be much heavier? I guess they're not like lifting it physically, but
Well, yeah, it depends on how much water, I guess, because there wasn't a lot in there.
The physics of this now.
Yeah.
The bottle crashes off, and we see that it's empty.
Also, during that scene, when the bottle does roll off the thing, apparently it's a reference to Transformers when Ironhide does the whole flip over. What's her name? Megan Fox.
Oh,
The civilian. Yeah, when he kind of does this cool transform thing, and then he like fucking rolls over her.
Yeah.
Like when the bottle kind of flips over them, and they're watching it. That's apparently a reference to that, which is interesting.
Weird references.
Yeah, weird reference. Not a Western, but
No, good movie.
good movie. Yeah.
yeah. So they find out that somebody robbed it before they did. We kind of cut back to town. They're all sadly walking and riding in. Rango says that he has to go see the mayor.
Needless to say, everyone hates him for not bringing the water back. That's it.
Yeah.
Disappointed in his sheriff ass.
When he's talking to the turtle,
Yeah, Sheriff Ass, you got that right.
Ass sheriff, you mean?
that he's telling the turtle about like the like drain pipe where it was getting where like he was slept at one time and dumped into the desert. He's like, well, who would dump water into the desert? And he's like, I was hoping you could tell me. He says, you know, that highway, I was here before that highway, and he's been like saying, I've been around here forever. Like, I mean, he's
playing
not really
golf with the sheriff
He's
at that
older
point.
than dirt himself.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's Turtle.
I don't ever feel like it's really a surprise the turtle is the bad guy in this. They don't really set him up to be anything other than that.
Well, in the beginning, when he gave him the sheriff badge, you got a little bit of trust for him. But then, obviously, as the movie goes on, he has water. He has all this shit. You control the water. You control everything.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
But he says he says that when he gives them the sheriff badge, he's like, you control the water. You control the people. He shows these bugs, and he like puts a drop of water in, and all the bugs crawl into it. So he's like, look at how I control people. And then I don't know. Either way,
you always kind of get the idea that he has some kind of ulterior motive or something.
Yeah,
it's not just Rattlesnake Jake.
The turtle we see is building some sort of, I don't know what network.
Is building Las Vegas
city, yeah, pretty much.
And Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas. That's a reference, actually, too.
All right, Joel, I want to see a reference counter in this video.
Yeah.
The
I'll take that as a no.
No, absolutely not. The turtle, now that I'm thinking about it, makes sense that he would be the oldest one because turtles live like a really long time.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah. He says that Rango's been playing the hero so long he's starting to believe it. We see in the jail the birds are hanging, like the mariachi birds, but they're still alive, and
because they're owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could an owl not be hung?
Probably not.
I don't know.
Their necks can do, a lot of shit.
Also, birds just have like hollow bones.
Yeah, birds are designed to be light.
Yeah, so they probably just wouldn't be heavy enough to choke themselves out, which is weird. But
explain how that's weird.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just weird that you just hang something and it's just fine, but if you hang a human, they're just fucked.
Oh, well, yeah, because of the weight of our bodies and
like
shit like
what's
that.
the hanging like weight to what's the ratio there? How heavy do you need to be to choke yourself out?
Let's talk about that. Jesus.
I actually have a special person we're bringing onto the show, a scientist.
Yeah.
As you can see from this chart behind me, the more hollow the bones are, the less of a chance you have of hanging.
Outside of the... Oh, yeah. So, just one thing here. I guess, like, the land that Beans owns is, like, the last land that they need.
So did everyone else just sell all their land then?
Yeah, they were kind of forced out of it because they just needed the credit or water or whatever.
Water?
Yeah.
Where does everyone in dirt live then?
I don't know. There's like 5 houses in this whole place.
Yeah.
They're mostly just seen hiding in like just random buildings all the time. So you never really know.
They just vibing out there.
They are.
The people start rioting outside because they don't have any water, and Rango failed. So like, we need something to believe in, and Rango's saying as long as this sign says sheriff, and as long as it's hanging there, like, you have something to believe in. And Rattlesnake Jake shows up and starts shooting the sign, and it's just hanging on by like a thread. Symbolism.
It's still hanging there.
It's still hanging. Rattlesnake Jake's like, hello, brother. He's just starts spewing this story. He's like, you want to drink some of my venom? Don't you love it? And he's just basically calling him out on all his bullshit. He's like, here's like your gun. Why don't you shoot me? You won't be needing all these bullets. Just leaves the one in and gives it back to him. And he's like, did you do any of those things that you said? He's like, all you've done is lie to all these people. And he says, like, get out of here. If I see you again, I'll take your soul down to hell. Kind
of dark.
Ham, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Kids movie, guys.
Yeah, kids movie. To be fair, he looks like the quintessential hell villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes are fiery red.
Yeah. What a cool design. Like,
Yeah.
It's like character. I don't know.
Like
There's his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, his tail like being a machine gun, which, I mean, and again, not to question the reality of this whole thing, but how the fuck did he get a machine gun on
He
still?
eats them.
Oh, just like
the
that one
bullets.
Tarantino movie when the girl has a gun for
Oh,
like
yeah, the fucking gun leg.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, no,
We
I just
have
wanted
the technology.
to stop on that for a second, but I didn't think anyone would actually give me an answer.
Let's go into the backstory of Rattlesnake Jake.
Rattlesnake Jake. Yeah, let's hope that in the next, well, it's been 9 years since the movie came out. Let's just hope in the next while
Ripe
we get
time for a sequel.
Rango sequel with the backstory of
yeah,
Rattlesnake.
we get a prequel for Rattlesnake Jake and his story. That's what I need.
Turns out Rango actually is his brother.
I'm messaging Nickelodeon right now. Get that through.
Dear Nickelodeon, where the fuck is Rango 2?
Everybody wants it.
He takes off his sheriff badge as he's walking out and throws it on the ground. There's a really nice time lapse here of him walking to the highway. Some nice music playing. He finds like the fish and the Barbie that he left there.
His woman.
Yeah, his girlfriend.
And we have a repeated line from the beginning here where he goes, "Who am I?" And then before he says, "I can be anybody," but now he's like, "I'm nobody." He just, like, closes his eyes and steps into the road and slowly like walks across it, just narrowly dodging traffic. He's like, "Look at my plot armor, everyone."
Kill me.
It's those scenes where like they're just so like out of it and just like depressed that like nothing around them is like affecting them anymore. So it's just he's just able to survive all this shit and like I guess complete the quest that the armadillo was trying to do in
the beginning.
his depressive state. Yeah. You know how it be.
Yeah, and
then he collapses at the other side of the road. Which
there.
sorry, I was just saying after he collapses and then he starts being carried away by some I don't know what you want to call them, beetles or something rather.
Pulleys.
So when he's carried away, a wood lice Okay, I guess they know that really specifically.
That's very specifically.
It is the same as when Jack Sparrow, another Johnny Depp character, is trapped in Davy Jones' locker and the crabs carry his ship to sea.
Oh yeah,
That does happen.
damn.
One
And
inconsistent.
Pirates of the
Reference
Caribbean.
number 253 of Rango.
I'm just trying to remember a little bit, but when he's like crossing the road, I don't remember him blowing around like he did in the beginning. So I think that's kind of some inconsistency with that again.
No, it's the weight of his depression holding him down.
Depression gives you a plus 200 times gravity.
They take him.
God damn, I just derailed that conversation.
Well, I mean, Joe was on about the crab
reference.
thing. Yeah.
Those references.
Wood lice.
It's like how often can we confuse a reference for just two things happening in different movies? You know, it's like, oh, those guys both high-fived. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, that's. I think it has to be very specific. The action, like how often does something get carried away by
many little things.
many little things? You know,
I don't know.
How
ants
often?
do that all the time.
how often? Yeah, I know well, they
That's all
do,
they
but
do.
but they don't carry one thing away.
It probably
on their
happened
tiny
in the
little
movie
bodies.
Ants, and it probably happened in the movie A Bug's Life.
Bug's Life. Yeah.
Well,
And
it's
in
not
that
if it
scene
probably
in
happened.
Spider-Man, where they're all passing him through the train because
Yeah. True. That's another one.
Maybe this was just a reference to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
When he wakes up, he's in just like
That.
the, you know, like when Harry,
Spider-Man.
you know, when Harry Potter dies in the seventh one, and then he just goes to King's Cross, where it's just like the train station. It's all white. He's basically in the Nevada version of that.
Yes, essentially.
It's just dust. And he thinks it's heaven. And
The town is called Dirt.
No, this place is dust though. I wrote down what you doing searching, but I don't remember which. I think the armadillo asks him that or something. Oh no, it's the man with no name, who is just Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. The Spirit of the West.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
And he's-
alabaster golf cart.
Yeah, with his Oscars.
His Oscars. That's fucking funny.
These Golden Guardians. But it's kind of like a profound message in this movie, because it's like, you know, the Spirit of the West isn't like this big thing. It's just Clint Eastwood there, but it's like the people believe in that, and it's all this whole thing is about just having something to believe in, and as a group kind of makes you stronger than that. And then like the whole highway thing where he's like, oh, you can't just wait for a good time to do something, like you just need to do it. Like, and even though there's all these cars, he just crosses the road anyways.
Yeah. I love how like they like talk about the Spirit of the West being this like a big thing, but it's really just like Clint Eastwood after he's made all his like movies pretending to be some cowboy. He's just out in the desert just searching for his purpose.
Isn't
in
yeah.
life.
He is.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood is nice.
He's nice. He says that names don't matter. Or he's the man with no name, so he's saying that names don't matter, deeds matter. He tells him to go back, and he's like, I can't go back. He's like, you don't really have a choice. No man can walk out of his own story. And he sees the armadillo. I wrote down, you see that, we see that, or we see what we need to see. I don't remember.
Could you say that one more time?
Yeah, without the ums though.
You fucking.
Just imagine the armadillo, how he like unflattened himself. Just like just fucking inflates like a balloon again.
Are armadillos like organs really that displaceable?
I don't think so. I think their whole thing is that they're not supposed to get squished because they have like a rock hard shell.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But
How did he get run over like that way though? He must have just been like laying on the road. Wouldn't you think?
Unless he
it's
got,
like across his
hit.
stomach.
and
Yeah,
then
he's laying
hit
on his
again.
back.
Well, he
Yeah.
could have got swept by one and then
Yeah.
Maybe he was just at the end of his journey and was just hoping for a swift end.
Yeah.
That's pretty what Rango was doing, pretty much.
But he goes to the highway.
So
to
it's
kill
come
himself.
full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that, or the armadillo says that the valley used to be covered in water, and they're like, oh, but where did it go? Then they see these walking cacti, and they follow them, and find a city of green, which I'm pretty sure is just like Las Vegas or something.
Vegas, yeah.
Yep.
They see this big pipe that reads emergency shut off, and he says, I'm going back because that's who I am. Find out who he is. When he goes back to the town, he says, your Poppy and those boys are about to hang for something they didn't do, but I've got a plan. I don't remember who he's saying this to.
The moles.
The moles. The Beans is with the mayor and Rattlesnake Jake, and she's kind of just getting literally choked for her land. Yeah. The turtle's like, whoa, Jake, calm. And he's like, nah, I'm fucking doing this. You can't stop me. Rango
But he won't.
calls him outside, and he is kind of challenging him to standoff. He looks pretty cool at this moment. Lots of good, like, Old West, like, kind of music. Yeah, he's stepping up there slowly. He says, like, put her down. He's like, why? Are you going to kill me? He's like, yep, that's about the size of it. He's got one bullet in his chamber. And we see the clock hit 12, and he's slowly walking towards him. There's like this hole on the ground from where the moles were, and there's like wood placed on top of it. When the snake gets close enough, which is supposed to be right at 12, that's why the cactuses know when, even though they're cactuses and they can't tell time, nor do they have a clock. But
it's the sky, Joel. When
Yeah.
the sun's at its highest.
once again, they are cacti.
Yes.
They turn on that pipe, and there's these people underground that break the pipe that's in their town, and water comes shooting out, and it blows the snake into the air. And and when the snake lands back down, he's pretty pissed. And the moles are up in the sky with like their bats, and they're like in the shape of a bird trying to scare the snake away. But he eventually notices and starts like shooting at them with his Gatling gun tail. That's super cool. He eventually goes and grabs Beans again, like taking her hostage pretty much. He puts
Honestly, just has a really rough go in this movie.
Yeah. He puts Beans and Rango into the like bank, and it's slowly filling with water, and they're about to drown. And Beans freezes in there, and turns out that Rango stole like his last bullet, and it's in his mouth. But like Beans like snaps out of her thing and like turns around, and she's like, oh, Rango, and like kisses him, accidentally eats his bullet. And like the water's slowly rising, and they like duck under, and he just like grabs her like a gun and just like squeezes her, and the bullet slowly travels. Somehow it's just enough force when it hits the glass to just shatter it all, and they come rushing out.
Plot bullet.
Yeah, plot bullet.
Yeah. The turtle gets like knocked off his back, and he's saying, "Oh, there's no room in this town for gunslingers." Because he was about to kill the snake, right? Because he's like, after Rango's gone, there's no need for you. And then when Rango busts out with all the water, then Rattlesnake Jake is just like, he kind of sees, he's like, one bullet. He's like, damn, like, Rango, you're a real one. You're
From one legend to another.
from one legend to another.
As he scoops up the turtle and fucking
Yeah,
takes him away.
Repeats something the turtle
Brazil.
keeps saying. He's like, no one
Yeah,
will.
Brazil.
He's like, no
He
one
takes
will
them to
know
Las Vegas.
you'll ever existed. And all their problems are solved now.
The town saved. Water's there.
Saved. It wraps up actually relatively quickly from here. Then we see the birds again. They're playing the celebration music, and they're like, "Well, Rango didn't die. Like we said that he was gonna die this whole time," which I felt was kind of a cop out. But
no, but then
like,
they said, "Well, he's gonna die eventually."
Yeah, they're just like, "Yeah, one day from fucking infection."
Yeah, and I'm like, I kind of expected that stupid shit.
Yeah, I expected it to be like a whole thing about, because I in the first time I watched it, I realized, oh, Rango's not his real name. Like we don't know his real name, so maybe at the end he'll like adopt his old name, and then like the name Rango will die. So it'd be like, the character of Rango, it starts and dies, but you never hear him say his real name or anything. So I don't know. I think I saw somewhere that there's an extended ending to this, but I didn't double check on that.
An extended
Please tell
ending?
me.
What?
Please tell me it resolves what happened to the deputy. That's just been bothering me.
No,
since I
it
saw
doesn't.
This. After he just gets
shot.
like winged and falls down. Does he die? What happens to him?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they show him laying there and like he speaks, but does he die? Mm.
Well, West, man,
Couldn't tell
probably.
you.
Doctor's an
No.
alcoholic.
Yeah, true. Not very useful.
The birds say that they'll remember the name of the one who saved them, Rango. And that is our movie.
That is Rango. Rango is real.
Go buy him from the store right now.
Yep.
Also, now that there's water, is the name Dirt really fitting for the town?
Yeah, true. Mud.
Yeah, it's like mud.
So, I mean, what did you guys think of this movie? All in all, what are some thoughts you guys have?
Augers. Liked it.
Enough said. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Alright.
Next movie.
Yeah,
And
I
that
mean,
was Rango.
way better than I expected. The action
Yeah.
was awesome. I feel like Johnny Depp was really good. There's like some really good like quick lines, and just like him just like going off and getting angry, and the whole fact that he's just making it up all on the spot is just really really funny to me. Yeah.
It's a movie about finding oneself,
Yeah.
and that's
It's a
just what
journey,
we need.
really.
It is.
Really just a faking it till you make it type of story.
Yeah.
That too. You can do anything you want as long as you can bullshit. That's it.
Have charisma, the world is yours.
Yeah, that too.
That's what I'm hoping to make it through on. But so any particular thumbs up or thumbs down characters or moments for you guys?
I like the chase scene.
Yeah.
The chase scene.
The chase scene.
Sheen is dope.
Most of all the action in the movie, pretty much. It was just really well
Yeah.
executed. The music was really well done behind it too.
I really liked like that it did have like symbolism for certain things, even though it was very direct about it, and it was like,
Yeah.
this is a metaphor. I liked all the times with like the one bullet were always pretty fun. Character design is really cool.
10 out of 10.
Uh,
I heard that like while they were like making this movie, Johnny Depp was also doing another movie, so they couldn't get him to do the lines like for certain times. So they had more time to work on like all the characters and everything else. So that's why they're like so well done.
oh,
Yeah.
They put really good use to their like $100 and whatever $1 million budget it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But-
fucking- what is it? 156 something.
why in our notes does it just say the violetly schist pantsed, and then bends over, drops trowel, thumbs up my bum?
Because I wrote those. That's why they're there.
The
Understandable.
highest award of no thumbs up is a thumbs up.
And then the next section just says stinky awards. Stinky awards. Most shit ass.
Well, who has the most shit ass in this movie, huh?
God, there would
shit.
be some stanky shit asses in that town.
Yeah,
True.
nobody would be bathing.
Yeah, true. No water.
Nobody even be
Maybe.
drinking. Like,
Just imagine the dry dust farts that come out.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, if I had to give a thumbs down to something, like maybe it would be the mayor, just because he's not that like interesting of a villain. But you kind of have Rattlesnake Jake to balance it out, so I'm not really mad.
The only other thumbs down thing I can think of is just like the relationship between Beans and Rango.
Yeah.
They don't really set it up where it doesn't go anywhere. Or, it's just kind of in the background, and I don't know. I'd like to see a blooming relationship.
And just the, again, comical amount of plot armor on Rango.
But it's like it is comical though.
It's an animated movie. I don't care that much. But.
Yeah. Okay, so time for the ceremony of thumbs.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yes. So we have to say whether we would recommend this movie to somebody else, or if they can give this one a pass. Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Rango's fucking epic.
Yeah.
It's a
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Who made the fart noise?
As me.
Okay.
Rango.
It's a good fart noise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great movie. Can't believe I didn't finish it like the other 2-3 times I tried to watch it. But, yeah. So we're now gonna give our wheel here a spin, but before I do, I'd like to remind you all to leave an actual thumbs up on this video if you like what we're doing here.
Mash that like.
Yeah, muffin-like button. And
The Muffin Man?
subscribe, if you like what we're doing here. The notification bell if
man.
you want to get notified. Leave us any comments or suggestions. And,
Also, shout out to our number 1 fan, Trent.
hey,
Yeah, shout out Trent.
We see you
Shout out
out
Trent.
there.
also,
If you made it this far into the
Made it this
video,
far. We love you.
Also, Andrew,
I love
he's
you.
not playing Ram Ranch. He's watching our videos all the
Let's
time.
go.
So he's-
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you for the Ram Range.
No, thank you. Please.
No more.
Okay, so once again, I'll just go over the movies on our list. We have Garfield here, The Devil All the Time, A Whisker Away, Vivarium, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, and Jojo the Rabbit. So I'm gonna give
Just
her a
Jojo
spin.
Rabbit, not the rabbit. Joel. He's not an actual
I
rabbit.
thought I said Jojo.
What is this lack of professionalism?
Here we go.
We gotta
I
restart the
haven't
whole
got
episode,
one
man.
yet. I don't know what the count
Ruined
is.
it.
I think didn't Dayne get?
Soiled it.
Didn't Dayne have 2 of his movies? Joe's had 2, and you've had 2.
Josh hasn't had 2.
I've had whoa.
He had Brightburn.
White Brightburn.
You guys had Brightburn. And Rango's been a random.
Parasite.
Parasite was just one we didn't spin on.
Oh yeah, I guess
That was
we've
our
only-
first
That was
one.
our
So we
very
would have
first
only
one.
had 5. So I think it's Josh 1, Joe 2, Dayne 2.
Yeah.
This episode 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. 'cause this
Welcome to episode 7 of
All
the
right.
No Thumbs Podcast.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I just like to say I've had these 2 yogurt cups just sitting here for the entirety of this whole podcast.
Is that Garfield?
Feel the tale of two
Is
kitties.
that
Garfield?
Oh.
All right, so
Random
for next
movie.
week, we'll be watching Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, legendary movie. Yeah, so until next
Mondays and lasagna, am I right?
time, I hate them and love them, in that order.
Yeah.
We have been No Thumbs Up, and this has been the No Thumbs Up podcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Brofist.
Don't.